So, next semester at my school, I plan on taking a class called Great Questions of Philosophy. And I very much look forward to it in the sense that I get to take a class focused pretty much purely on thought and the history of thought, which is something I find absolutely fascinating and can't wait to study in a more academic sense rather than just purely individualistic and very much on my own. But I was actually talking with a few friends about the class, because another one of my friends is taking the same class, though at a different campus for my school. So sadly enough, it's not the same teacher or the same time, but I imagine we will be learning some of the same things. So he's actually on YouTube now. He's username, channel name, youtube.com/sinfulwill. I will post a link to that in the info box for those of you to see. I'm trying to encourage him to YouTube a little bit more, and it'd be very interesting to see our discussions as we begin to both of us first study philosophy, really for the first time. I imagine. I can't speak for him, but it is for me. But so here's a good point. He and I were talking about it on Facebook, no less, and one of our friends decided to comment on this and say how it was one of the hardest classes he had necessarily ever taken, but also one of the most rewarding. In the sense that he was very tough, it was very challenging. He had to write several very lengthy papers, difficult class overall, but how he learned so much while doing it. Which that's the kind of thing I'm into. I'd rather it be challenging and I learn a lot through it rather than it be something easy that I can breeze by. I'd really like to have a class that challenges me to think about things in a new way, or if it even challenges me to think of it in an old way, as long as it's new to me and it's different from my perspective. And I switch it to my left hand because I've been holding it with my right hand, and that's been getting moderately tiring, and now the sun's in that direction. Oh well, back over here. So, the point, and then he was talking about things that he learned in that class today to me in person, actually. And he was telling me about how he learned so much in, even when it comes down to just basic vocabulary, which really got me thinking, because he said, a lot of people will throw around words like existentialism or determinism or things like this, or they'll refer to these things without ever actually having studied them or truly kind of grasp on them. And then when he took this class, he realized just how many people were just misusing these various political philosophies in their discussions or their arguments or their comments or musings or anything like that, regardless of the medium. But which really got me thinking about the nature of vocabulary itself, in that, where was I going with that statement? In the sense that a lot of us, and I'm prone to it too, almost, I would be willing to wager that most human beings, if not all human beings, are prone to it as well. We will use a word, we will define a concept or reference this concept without truly understanding what it is. And it's something that I notice, and just like the video I recorded before this, which was my second video response to a conference report, I sadly enough don't have any documented or empirical evidence to offer within the context of this video. But it is something I notice a lot. People on one side of an issue will completely misunderstand another side of this issue, be it political, religious, or just philosophical in nature, in the sense that it's just an issue of thought processes and belief systems and things of that nature. But so you have these references that the person referencing them does not understand necessarily what they're referencing, which, I think we all do it, so there is a bit of leeway in the doing of it, so long as you are open to listening to what that idea actually is when someone points out that your understanding of it is just completely wrong. Now, of course, you should challenge them and then do the research yourself to see whether or not you or your accuser is wrong or right or anything of that nature. And really, such should be all things, but especially when it comes to vocabulary, because it is so important that we have an agreed upon language, that we have words that we all agree upon a standard meaning upon, because otherwise you get into debates of nothing but semantics, of the meaning behind the words that you speak, when it would be very much more beneficial for us to just agree mutually across the board on the semantics of most things. Now, when you introduce a new concept, yes, you have to define that, but when you're talking about concepts that have already been established, such as existentialism or determinism, or any of the other things that my friend mentioned, then you really do have to, agree upon a set definition, because otherwise the discussion becomes bogged down, as I said, into a semantical discussion, rather than a discussion over necessarily the true content of it, rather than what the words themselves mean. And while this is appropriate from time to time, and is often something that we should do to make sure that we still mutually agree upon these vocabularies, it shouldn't be the focus of all discussions. And I'm certainly not trying to say that it is, or that I've ever observed instances where it has been. But, it's just something it's just one of the many things we have to watch out for, and one of the many dangers of having, all these open discussions, is that we will lose track of our own knowledge as we learn more and more. Other things will get, placed lower in the hierarchical, I messed up that word, but you understand what it is, thanks to us having a shared vocabulary and significant hardship concerning the pronunciation of that word itself, because it's mispronounced many, many times. But, so it's good to have these things to make sure that we agree upon the meanings of words at all times. Not necessarily at all times, but most of the time. Really for the benefits of being able to accomplish actual exchange of ideas rather than exchanges of meanings as we go about. And once again, an external stimuli has made me slightly lose my train of thought, but I think I was just rambling on there for a bit anyway, so bye.